For the past 2 summers, the Letter 15 has been home to community-based projects in which we've collaborated on a wide variety of activities and creative pursuits. 2 years ago, for Alphabet Soup, you worked together on a video about juice, showed off your American cheese dance moves, and made art and food and all kinds of other amazing things. Last year, we saved a girl named Emery Harrow, who was trapped in a mysterious dream machine.
Oh, Emery, poor Emery Harrow. Oh, Emery, free Emery Harrow.
And this year, I want to take that community energy and channel it towards making a meaningful difference in the world by addressing the issues that really matter. And that's why I'm excited to announce BORP, the best of random projects. Is that a good name? I'm sorry, I've just been having a really hard time deciding on a name for this project. I feel like the name is so important, it's the first impression people will have, and I want to get it right, you know? I've been going back and forth between a bunch of names, and it's so hard to choose. I was thinking maybe Slop or Plop or Goop, which apparently is the name of Gwyneth Paltrow's ridiculous health company, so maybe not. Unless I want one of our activities this summer to be like energy healing with scratch and sniff stickers. Or coffee enemas? Apparently that's a thing that Goop promoted. I was also considering a name that I was then informed is a homophobic slur in the UK, which would not have been ideal. Look, I've tried a lot of different ways to decide. I asked for help deciding on Discord, I made 5 Twitter polls, I spun a wheel, I flipped a coin, I hiked to the peak of Mount Gemesermo and consulted the Oracle, I uploaded 2 since deleted videos asking what people thought.
The options are Blop, Gorp, Slop, Borp, or Glop. This is just the most difficult decision I've ever had to make. It's probably the most I've ever struggled.
I'm just a really indecisive person, okay? I don't know what to do. I don't know how to decide. Okay, you need to do this, Teo. You need to choose. You just really need to pick one. I'm excited to announce BLOP, the best and latest organized project. I don't know, is BORP better? Maybe BORP is better. Look, I just can't decide, and I really can't start this project until I have a name for it, which is disappointing because I had so many exciting things planned. Like, I have this whole notebook filled with plans. We were gonna solve climate change, impeach Trump, end depression, figure out how to fill the rest of these pages, which are actually mostly blank, but now we can't do any of that because we just have to figure out this project's name. That is our top priority now. And that's where you come in, because the only way I can think of to definitively decide the best name for this project is for you to split into 2 teams depending on which name you prefer and try to convince me with a variety of activities throughout the summer. That's just what we're gonna have to do. That's the only way to give the name of this project any legitimacy. So as we begin the deliberation process, here's what I want from you. Go down to the comment section and introduce yourself. For instance, hi, I'm Teo. I'm a 20-year-old college student studying sociology at the University of Chicago. I like Cheez-Its and dogs, and I'm afraid of abandonment, and my favorite color is purple. I'm currently reading The Art of Cruelty by Maggie Nelson and watching the latest season of Barry. I'm home in New Jersey for 2 weeks and then heading back to Chicago for the rest of the summer, and I'm excited to begin this as of yet untitled project. Then, once you've introduced yourself, tell me what name you prefer, BLOP or BORP. Of course, that alone is not going to convince me. Deciding on the actual name is probably going to require like 3 months or so of deliberation, but each introduction will get your team 1 point for up to 20 points. And I encourage you to get to know your teammates, read through some other people's introductions, and start conversations if you have things in common, or if you don't have things in common but are curious. And then head over to the Letter 15 Discord chat server linked below, where you can join your team's chat and meet some of your fellow bloppers or borpers. The Discord will be one of the central places to organize collaborations throughout the summer, so I highly encourage you to join. I know that joining chats can be intimidating, but I promise you everyone is very nice, and they are more than happy to help you figure out Discord if you're at all confused. Look, I truly believe in the power of community, and I believe that when people come together, we can decide between the names BORP or BLOP, and I'm excited to, by the end of the summer, have an easier way to refer to this project. Until then, I'm just gonna have to alternate. So welcome to BORP, and I'll be making videos weekly throughout BLOP, so I'll see you next week.